Bro opened his eyes expecting to wake up in his own world. But instead he found himself in a completely different body. New world, new identity, new language, and he doesn't even know whose life he just inherited. Everyone is calling him Cassius, but he's standing there thinking, who is Cassius? And why am I suddenly a long silver-haired guy? Bro really woke up and entered the biggest identity crisis ever. He can't understand anyone, nobody can understand him, and to make things worse, he got the worst transmigration package possible. No memories, no system, and no idea who he was supposed to be. His first day in another world is already a complete disaster.
Do not acknowledge the pain. Acknowledging weakness means becoming weak oneself. These words I impart to you in the holy tongue shall assuredly become your very essence. You are a strong and steadfast being. And that is exactly why I chose you.
His words always brought tranquility to my heart and eased my mind. Even if my body were about to break, and if the future seemed bleak, because I was the strong and steadfast being you spoke of, I could withstand anything that came my way.
We cannot ascertain the cause. The wounds that he suffered during battle have been healed for some time already. However, it is a mystery as to why he still has yet to awaken. If this continues, we cannot be sure if he will wake at all.
Leave us. Hurry and wake up, Cassius. I can endure this.
Captain! Captain!
What is it?
Sir Cassius has awoken. The servants believe he has regained consciousness.
Remain silent until it is confirmed. If he has truly awakened, he will be in a delicate state, so I will enter alone.
Yes, sir.
Cassius. Cassius. Have you truly woken up? Cassius?
여기가 어디야? 당신은 누구세요? 나는 분명히 한국에 있었는데. 왜 이런 곳에 있는 거야? 내 몸은 왜? 다른 사람처럼 보이는 거야?
That is not our kingdom's dialect. What language is he speaking? Is this truly the Cassius I know? Here, put this on.
What is this?
A translator. It's not the best quality, as it is something typically used by the lower class, but it's all we can do. Can you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand you.
Good. Now then, answer me. If you are not Cassius, what has become of him?
Even if you ask me, I don't know who that is. My name is Co Eno. Is that the name of the person whose body this is? I don't even know where I am.
Is it because his wounds have not fully healed? Is this a temporary delusion? Anyone could tell this man is not Cassius. No matter how implausible it may seem.
Silver hair. Is he a foreigner? Is there a way for me to return to my original world?
My apologies, but that is something I would like to ask. For the time being, we should keep this a secret. You cannot be caught by anyone. I shall return this evening, so sleep for now.
But I'm not tired. I just woke up.
You have yet to fully recover. Sleep until nightfall.
What's this? I'm suddenly sleepy.
Cassius. Where are you?
Bro really had the worst first day possible in another world. He woke up with someone else's face, couldn't understand anyone, and before he could even make a plan, he basically announced, "Hi, I'm not Cassius." Bro, that's not how transmigration works. You just revealed your biggest secret before the story even started. But the surprising part is Albreto didn't panic or expose him. Instead, he chose to protect this mysterious stranger and keep the truth hidden. Now the question is, where did Cassius go? Why did Eno end up in his body? And how long can Eno survive in a world where everyone thinks he is someone else?
Captain, we came as soon as we heard the news. Has he really woken up?
I told him to keep quiet, but it seems word has already spread. I'm afraid he has yet to wake.
How is that possible? Are you certain?
That servant must have been mistaken about seeing him awake. That's possible, seeing how everyone is so desperate for him to regain consciousness. Regardless of what anyone says, there is no one who wishes for him to wake up more than me.
Then, Captain, can you please repeat it in the holy tongue? Do you not agree that mortal speech is much less trustworthy? Since you cannot lie when speaking in the holy tongue.
What's important to them right now is not whether I'm lying or speaking the truth. They're simply trying to ease their disappointment by harassing me. It's not a lie, so there's no reason why I can't. Vice Captain Cassius still in an unconscious state. The servant mistakenly thought he saw him awake for a moment. We are still uncertain as to when he will wake up.
I see. We understand you well. Thank you. If this could have easily been discussed in the holy tongue, perhaps we should have used it from the start.
All right, you can all go now.
Yes.
It's not that you cannot tell a lie in the holy tongue. It's just that the consequences of doing so are severe. Ah. Cassius, I need you dearly. Cassius.
My being here was not a dream.
잠깐만요. 여긴 어디예요? 저는 왜 여기 있는 거죠? 저한테 무슨 일이 일어난 거예요?
I can't understand what you're saying. Hold on a moment. You can understand me now, right?
Yes.
Good. Then I shall give you a brief explanation of this place. This kingdom you have entered is the one and only righteous land that exists in this world. To the north lies to the north of this kingdom is snow-filled tundra dominated by the extreme cold. To the east, a barren desert. And to the west, an expanse of sodden swampland. Therefore, that place you referred to as South Korea does not exist in this world, understand?
So you're saying this place is like a monarchy with a king who has absolute power? I'm not quite familiar with that concept, since where I came from is a democratic republic.
Democratic Republic? Never would I have expected to hear the words of a rebel soldier from your lips.
Ah, that's understandable, because it's a monarchy. I'll be careful from now on.
So, if we assume what you're saying is correct, that means that Cassius' soul swapped places with yours while he was unconscious. But, even the most powerful language is not capable of switching a person's soul.
Language. Now that I think about it, back when I immediately fell asleep again after hearing something that I couldn't understand. Is that language something magical?
Try repeating the words I say exactly.
My head feels like it's about to split. Hold on a moment. What is this?
It was only a hunch I had, but you truly have lost the holy tongue. You either don't have the ability to use holy tongue in the first place, or you avoid using it because it takes an immense toll on your body.
What on earth could this holy tongue, that he speaks of be, that could make him look this anguished as it lost something more important than a name or memory?
I didn't want to burden you after you had been unconscious for several months.
So what exactly is this holy tongue?
Simply put, holy tongue is a language that has power.
Power?
Yes. For example, you can affect the world around you by pronouncing the words. The effect that the holy tongue has can be so vast, that someone who does not understand it could go into shock just from hearing it. Does your world not have a language that functions in the same way?
No, I'm sorry.
Don't be. There's no need to be sorry. But let me give you a word of advice. Do not apologize for something you haven't done wrong, so it may ultimately cause a negative impact on you.
I see.
Anyway, I worry about the future. We will eventually find a way for you to return to your world, but it will take some time. As our circumstances are quite complicated, if word gets out that you're not exactly Cassius, the consequences would be dire.
I understand.
You said your name was Eno, right?
Yes.
For now, you'll somehow have to pretend to be Cassius for me.
Bro got the worst transmigration package ever. Ain't no way bro got scammed. Every transmigrator is supposed to inherit the previous owner's memories. That's like the #1 rule. Not Eno. No memories, no cheat skills, no helpful system.
This room's windows reflect a lie. Albreto does not exist here, and Cassius Melschween is still in a coma. Nobody tries to come in here.
Does that mean no one can see us in here? That's amazing.
I can't keep this up at all times, so during the day you actually have to be asleep. Well, Eno. Let's start with your posture. Cassius is the vice captain of the king's personal guard. There are members of the guard who join just so they could have the privilege of working under you. They either hate or worship you, to an extreme degree. In other words, they are people who take in your every minor habit. If you make the slightest mistake, they will notice it. Straighten your back.
Okay.
Why are you slouching so much?
I'm straightening it as much as I can.
Did you spend your whole life sitting on the floor or something? You can change how people see you simply by adjusting your posture. If you don't want to give others the wrong impression, you should learn how to walk properly. Straighten that back and walk. That's not how Cassius walks.
Why do I get the feeling that this won't be easy?
You can't even get the basics right. Not like that. That's not how Cassius sits. He doesn't breathe like that.
What? You want me to change the way I breathe? How come you know so much about Cassius?
That's right. You wouldn't know.
He looks so sad.
Cassius is my lover.
I see. Does that mean I took his lover away? This man has a clear air of dignity. It's weird to think about dating someone like him. I'm really sorry, but do you think you could treat me not as your lover, but as someone you're meeting for the first time? I've never even dated anyone myself.
All right. I understand you're in a difficult position, so we'll do that.
Phew.
Cassius would never sigh so loudly. Let's stop here for today. During the day, I'm going to remove your energy to force you into a sleep.
Okay.
There must be a way to bring Cassius back. I must find it. Cassius has an odd habit. When someone is helping him get dressed, he insists on doing up the final 2 buttons by himself. If anyone else tries to do it for him, he slaps their hand away, no exception.
Why am I so nervous?
Go ahead. Try it.
Huh. He does it even to you. I thought you were lovers.
Yes. To tell the truth, I've made the most mistakes around him. Go on. Try it.
Like this.
Harder.
Harder?
You're annoyed because the other person crossed a line.
Even if it's a habit, how can he do this to his own partner?
What are you waiting for?
Were they really lovers?
Ah.
That was super hard.
That ought to do it. Next up.
Bro really thought waking up in another world was already complicated. But now he has to learn how to breathe, walk, sit, and even button a shirt like someone else. Imagine waking up with a completely different face, a different body, and then someone tells you, by the way, everyone around you knows this person's every little habit, so don't mess up. Bro didn't just get a new life. He got assigned a full-time acting job. Bro's biggest challenge isn't surviving another world. It's surviving the expectations of the person whose life he's living.
Cassius was like a field of snow. When sunlight reflects off the white plains, it's so bright you can hardly look at it. That's the sort of person he was. On the other hand, this Eno person is the exact opposite of Cassius in every possible way.
I just slide it on like this, right?
Yes.
You want me to use a sword? I'm not going to have to kill anyone, am I?
He's timid. Hesitant. He's clearly never had a position of power in his life. I'll make it so that you won't have to wield a sword for a while. His skills are a far cry from Cassius's. Still, I can't deny that he's a fervent student. His ability to focus is remarkable.
Then I fold my napkin like this. Is this right, Albreto? Albreto? Albreto.
Ah. That's enough for table manners. Let's move on.
Are you sure?
We don't have much time, so let's keep it quick. Next is language. We speak 2 languages in this country. There's terrestrial, which has no limits placed on it, and the holy tongue, which only the upper classes use. You must learn both languages in a week, at most. Even if you can't speak perfectly, you must at least be able to listen.
Am I strong enough to learn the holy tongue? I still remember how painful it was.
Don't worry. Once you understand the basics of the language, the shock will disappear. I'll do everything I can to help you.
I know I can trust Alberto. Okay.
How do you study language in your world?
We usually start with simple greetings.
That's not how you learn the holy tongue. You must understand the idea behind each word. It's like retracing our steps to the moment the world was unfolded. What was that moment like in your world?
I think that would be the Big Bang. They say there was a huge explosion, after which the universe expanded and formed the universe we live in. That's the most widely accepted theory we have. Some religions believe that God made the world in 7 days.
I thought for certain he belonged to a lower class, but it seems he had enough authority to access high-level information. Naturally, only the higher classes would have access to information about how the world began. For the first time, I'm curious, what sort of life this stranger has led? The order is a bit different, but it sounds similar. Maybe he was born into a lower class and worked hard to obtain higher knowledge. This next part is important. I'm going to say the first word, repeat after me.
You mean in the holy tongue?
Yes. The impact it brings may be large, but don't block your ears. Don't play dumb either, listen well.
Okay.
He might have more in common with me than with Cassius. I don't have time for these thoughts. The first form of this world was void. Fortunately, I think he understands the weight of that word. Next is chaos. Before the world took shape, there was chaos. We know that something existed, but we can't be sure what, exactly. Something was needed to complete the incomplete. And there was light. Only when there is light can we distinguish between right and wrong. Only when there are shadows can you see the borders between the complete and the incomplete. And with that, the world was made whole.
Unlike most Ice Guy stories, Ino isn't just learning a new language. He's learning an entirely different way of understanding the world. Every lesson brings him one step closer to becoming Cassius. But it's also reminding Alberto of the man he's lost. I also like how different these two are. Cassius sounded fearless, confident, and almost untouchable. Meanwhile, Ino is over here asking, I'm not going to have to kill anyone, am I? Bro is just trying to survive the day. And now Ino has 1 week to learn 2 languages, hide the fact that he's from another world, and convince everyone he's actually Cassius. Bro's stress level must be through the roof already.
You'll have to face people without your translator starting tomorrow.
Are you sure about this?
It'll be fine. All you have to do is nod or shake your head. If you don't know what someone says, pretend you didn't hear. Cassius was always a man of few words.
Okay.
He picked everything up much faster than I expected. It's remarkable that he can already hold a normal conversation. I know I forced this on you due to my personal circumstances, but thank you for being a good sport and playing along.
Not at all.
There's one more thing you must be careful of.
What is it?
Never, ever lie. Using terrestrial is one thing, but if you lie in the holy tongue, you'll hurt yourself.
Okay. Huh.
Yes?
Is this okay?
What do you mean? Oh, you mean is it all right not to answer people? Cassius always kept his mouth shut if he considered a conversation not worth his time. If it causes a problem, I'll handle.
No. I mean, are you okay?
What is he talking about?
You made the windows reflect a lie. Are you okay? Did it hurt? You must be in pain.
I'm all right. Aren't I? I'm going to tell everyone you're awake tomorrow. Get lots of sleep tonight. I'm exhausted. It makes sense. I've been getting less than 2 hours of sleep a night. During the day, I'm busy with the nights, while also looking for a way to bring Cassius back, and at night, I've been teaching Inho. I've certainly suffered for that lie too. Keeping up a facade for 8 hours a day, in front of knights proficient in the holy tongue is no easy task. He's so different from Cassius. Cassius never once asked me something like that. I was once foolish enough to seek comfort from him.
Don't acknowledge pain, Alberto. The words you speak build up inside you and make you weak.
Cassius was right. I know that if I acknowledge it, I'll become a weak coward. I'm fine. I can still hold out a bit longer. This isn't the worst. Am I really all right? If Cassius was here right now, then at least for a moment, I would forget everything. And if I was not okay? What would he do about it? You can't do anything.
For the first time, Alberto isn't being treated as the perfect captain who never breaks. Ino notices the burden he's carrying and asks a question no one else ever has. Are you okay? It may seem like a small moment, but sometimes genuine concern can reach someone more deeply than strength ever could.
Vice Captain, you woke up. Do you recognize us? Do you know where you are? You have no idea how worried we were about you.
They're even worse than Albreto said they'd be. Is this some kind of Cassius cult?
I'm so glad you're finally awake. Thank goodness. Vice Captain. Why aren't you saying anything? It's us. Are your memories not yet full?
Watch yourself. Do you think it's wise to make a fuss in front of someone who's just woken up from a coma?
But, Sir Ernest,
Do you seriously think your emotions are more important than the vice captain's condition?
that wasn't my intention. I apologize.
I'm glad I met Albreto first. If it had been these guys, I would have made all kinds of mistakes. Albreto said if I speak carelessly, I could get found out. No matter what happens, I shouldn't react. I know those slow footsteps, by sound alone.
I see you're awake, Sir Cassius.
Albreto said not to act interested in anything, not even him.
How do you feel? Do you know who I am? Can you understand me?
Should I respond? He told me not to react to anything. But I think it would be weirder not to reply here.
I'm glad. You've been in a coma for 3 months. You've only just woken up. Do you remember what happened before you fell unconscious?
That's odd. I can tell from Albreto's reaction that I didn't make a mistake, but the night seemed to have grown more threatening.
Cassius? I see you're not responding. Are you not in the mood to talk? I understand, since you just woke up, but the knights are worried about you. If there's a problem, tell us, and we'll help you. Or would you rather be alone for now?
Captain. Don't interrogate him.
He calls this an interrogation? He's just asking if I need help.
It's my duty as captain to check on his situation.
But it's not your right. You may be lovers, but that's no excuse for you to be rude to Sir Cassius. You know, you seem to have a lot of free time today. You always act so busy, but you ran over here quickly enough today.
How could I not when I heard the news that my vice captain was awake?
What if this causes problems in your work? Won't it be your vice captain who has to clean up after you? Perhaps you could be of more help to him by doing your job.
Did he seriously just say that? Why did he turn on Albreto? It's not like he's offering to help. How can he treat his superior like that? I can't just pretend not to see this. Albreto said not to react.
I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking.
HMPH. At least you realize it.
Still, there's one more thing I should confirm. Sir Cassius, shall I take this to mean you don't require any more help? I see. He needs time to recover. Let's go.
I can't tell if that went well or not. Phew. I wish Albreto stayed behind. I'm now certain of two things. 1. Albreto's position in the order is very weak. 2. Cassius was aware of this and simply looked on. Why would he do that? If his lover is being pushed around, that makes him a laughingstock too. They're treating him like a servant. There's no reason for him to be treated so unfairly. If no one else will do it, then I'll protect Albreto.
Step 1 of becoming Cassius: stay quiet. Step 2, look intimidating. Unfortunately, nobody told him Cassius came with loyal followers, enemies, and a mountain of emotional baggage. Congratulations, Ino. You've unlocked a new challenge. Pretending to be a legendary knight while knowing absolutely nothing about his life. Difficulty level: impossible.
We can finally rest easy now that the vice captain is awake again. It's been so difficult not having the linchpin of our group. I'm glad the knights will be able to pull together once again.
If you think about it, this is only the beginning.
What do you mean by that?
Now that Sir Cassius is awake, the rebels will begin to stir again. They'll likely try to make a move before he's fully recovered.
What should we do?
Well, His Majesty has called for me anyway. I'll have to do whatever I can to keep Sir Cassius from being called into service right away.
Already? That was fast.
While I'm gone, you're in charge, Sir Ernest.
Understood. I hope you make it out of your audience in one piece.
The real enemy is outside the palace. Greetings, Your Majesty.
Indeed. I hear Sir Cassius is awake. How is his condition? When can he return to his duties?
Our king is only 12 years old. Many say he's incompetent, but he's simply young and lacking in experience. He will one day become the leader who brings stability to our nation. I just have to survive until that future becomes a reality. Your Majesty, Sir Cassius has only just awoken. He needs time to recover. Otherwise,
How much time does he need? It's already been 3 months. The situation has only grown worse during his absence. While you knights have been neglecting your duties, the rebels have been running rampant. How would you cope if the rebels were to overrun the capital today? You knights can't do anything right.
I'm afraid it's outside of my control. Sir Cassius is still not fully recovered. If he were forced into battle now, only for something to happen to him, then we wouldn't have the minimum number of people needed to protect your Majesty. How absurd. For a king to feel uncomfortable hearing the holy tongue.
You have 1 month. Hurry and make sure Sir Cassius is fully recovered by then. You're dismissed. This is why I need Sir Cassius. What did I expect from a commoner like you?
Albreto delivers a full speech in the holy tongue. The king immediately regrets knowing this language exists. Forget the rebels. Surviving Albreto's conversations might be the real challenge. Ha ha ha.
Still, this is a win. All that matters is that I earned us some time. That stranger had better play along nicely. Ino asked if I'm okay? Why can I not seem to forget that question?
There's a secret basement.
This is an underground passage meant to serve as an emergency exit. We used it when Cassius secretly trained me.
I guess even someone as remarkable as him had to go through the struggles of training.
Starting tonight, we're going to begin swordsmanship training.
I guess even someone as remarkable as him had to go through the struggles of training. You said I wouldn't have to use a sword.
I'm not asking you to stab anyone right away. You were given a month, but it'll be more like 6 until you can return to battle. Even then, we're going to push it back as much as we can. Besides, I don't expect much from you. It looks like you've never even killed an animal, let alone a person. I doubt you've even picked up a sword before. I'm not expecting greatness from you. The goal here is to take care of your body. Starting tonight, we're going to begin swordsmanship training.
Are you sure you're okay, Albreto? It sounds like you're busy with work during the day, and now you're helping to train me at night. If you're not careful, you might get really.
Ino, you're quite careless.
What?
What kind of answer did you expect me to give?
I wasn't expecting any sort of answer. I'm just worried about you. His face is so close.
And if I wasn't okay? What were you planning on doing then? Are you going to just give up on your training? You think you can walk empty-handed onto a battlefield and just die? Or do you just want to make me say that I'm fine?
No. That's not why
I let it slide before, but let me give you a warning, Ino. Don't be so quick to ask questions with difficult answers. The power of words is mightier than you might think. When your words aren't enough to change anything, it's best to just stay silent.
I guess he's not exactly staying up all night for the fun of it. I should apologize. I know that's the right thing to do. But exactly what is he so afraid of?
Albreto hides his exhaustion behind duty and discipline. But Ino's simple concern reaches a place even Cassius never did. As training begins, Ino realizes there is more behind Albreto's cold attitude than he first thought.
I just thought, if the power of words is so strong, then I thought the power of comfort would be just as strong. If you're not okay, you can say so. I can comfort you and tell you it'll get better. Even if things are hard now, we can get through it together. Things might seem hopeless, but they might get better. It might help you to hear those things.
That kind of pandering only makes me feel more pathetic. But how long have I yearned to hear someone who genuinely cares about me whisper that things would turn out fine? I don't know what this emotion is. I've never felt it before.
All I know is I want to support this man right now.
I'm sorry. I was too harsh.
No, I'm the one who started it.
As I told you before, don't apologize when you didn't do anything wrong. If you do as I say, that'll make things easier for me too.
Okay. He accepted my apology, but I still feel uneasy. Maybe this desire to support him is one-sided. It must be uncomfortable for him, since he already has a lover. Not only did I steal this guy's body, but now I covet his relationship. You've had better days, Inho. Okay. I'll just think of this as gratitude toward the person who's helping me. That's fine, isn't it? Emotions are really just the names we give them. Ha. Huff. You're killing me here.
Take a short break. He lost a lot of muscle while he was unconscious. Still, he's an ideal student. He did bring the translator with him, but he's hardly using it, and even during his breaks, he's reviewing the language.
Albreto, you looked pretty.
What do you think that word means?
I know what it means. I meant your movement.
You mean my posture? You should say, your posture was straight. With a little more practice, you could also.
No. Your movements, your heart, and everything about you, is pretty.
My heart? What's so pretty about a guy who pushes you around every day? Not even Cassius has ever said that to me. What a stupid little ploy. Still, I didn't know Cassius could smile like that.
I don't mind. I know you're just having a hard time. To be honest, I'm not the best person either. I used to always ignore people who were struggling.
But not me, huh?
Oddly enough, I feel a sort of kinship with you. I think that way, even though you're obviously much stronger and cooler than me.
What's this? We're just sitting next to each other exchanging a few words. Cassius and I never spent time together like this. We only touched each other at night. I thought that was enough of a connection. And yet right now, I feel an even greater connection than I did then with Cassius. What am I thinking? How can my heart waver so much after a single moment of comfort? Now I know why this stranger has felt so threatening.
I'm sorry. You must have been surprised when I randomly touched you.
Well, that emotional wall didn't just crack. It practically filed a resignation letter. Albreto spent all this time insisting words are dangerous. Then one genuinely kind person comes along, and suddenly his entire worldview starts buffering. Inho isn't trying to flirt, he's just being kind. Unfortunately for Albreto's heart, kindness seems to be his greatest weakness.
May Sir Cassius, the faithful servant of His Majesty the Emperor, make a full recovery. After his long slumber, may he return safely to his daily life.
They're using hard words, so I have no idea what they're saying, but I think it's something good.
As soon as word spread that Cassius was awake, requests to see him started flooding in. Even if people couldn't meet him face to face, they left words of blessing at his door.
Sure enough, I'm starting to feel better. Maybe I should memorize these words and use them on Albreto. This way, Albreto can hopefully feel less tired and... Albreto, look at me. Huh? Why is nothing happening?
You. Look. I appreciate the thought, but do not do that again.
Did I do something wrong?
You mean you don't even know what you were saying? If you randomly memorize words you don't understand and repeat them out of context, they won't mean anything. People use their own power to grant you those blessings, so don't start diminishing what you've received.
Oh, okay. He looks really upset. It looks like I screwed up again. I'll have to study the Holy Tongue even more from now on.
Are these all gifts people left for you?
Yes. Even though I refused to see them, they still left presents.
Don't touch them. They might be poisoned.
Poisoned? Aren't these from Cassius's allies?
There are powerful people who are hostile to Cassius. They want to reduce the royalists' influence, and since Cassius of the Royal Knights is so steadfast in his beliefs, they see him as a thorn in their side. Even if they can't kill Cassius, they can still put him in a difficult position.
Cassius seems like the type who has just as many enemies as friends. How am I supposed to protect Albreto like this?
Anyway, I'll take care of all this.
Okay.
Ino really thought the Holy Tongue was a cheat code for emotional healing. He saw people leaving blessings and thought, if I copy these words, Albreto will feel better. Meanwhile, Albreto was like, please don't use sacred words you found lying around like a random comfort spell.
I have nothing to do during the day, so I started learning how to write. Albreto said I have to use all of the potential inside of me to learn the language. His words were really helpful. I'm surprised by how quickly I'm learning.
Sir Cassius, your food is here.
Cassius eats like a bird, so I can't eat too much. Albreto brings me more food at night, but it's still not enough. That servant is sure taking his time in here. Normally he practically runs out of the room. I wish he would hurry up and leave. I want to get back to my studying. I'm making such good progress. There's Albreto. He almost never stops by during the day, so I don't get to see him that often. It's sad.
Did you fail?
What did he say? Albreto said if I can't tell what someone said, I pretend I didn't hear. It'll most likely be related to politics, okay? I'll just ignore him then. I didn't hear anything.
Did you fail? Then allow me to confirm.
Confirm? Confirm what? Should I ask Albreto? I could tell him to come up right. I felt it instinctively. He's in danger. Albreto.
Ino? Who's trying to assassinate me at the Knight's headquarters, in broad daylight? Nobody would stand to gain anything by killing me. I'm not that important in the order. We're under attack. To your positions.
Captain, cover the rear.
Where are they? I'm exhausted.
Your orders, Captain. Captain.
It would all be so much easier if I stayed sitting here. Who would care if I ceased to exist? I may be captain of the guard, but I'm really just a puppet propped up by Cassius. There are plenty of people who could replace me. They might feel a little sad if I die, but they'll get over it. Even Cassius. Maybe it would be best if it all ended.
It's an assassin. The servant who brings my food changed sides. There's danger here in headquarters. Find the culprits now.
Vice Captain? Cassius, are you back?
He is getting away, catch him. Are you hurt? I'm so glad you're safe, Albreto.
This isn't my lover. Even so. Why do I feel so confused?
Ino was peacefully studying one moment, and the next moment he became the action hero. Meanwhile, Albreto was busy having an existential crisis until Ino jumped in like, "No time to be depressed, Captain. There's an assassin."
I was so worried about you.
Did you even think? How could you just leap out there like that? Do you not like that body? Have you decided to kill it? Or were you feeling so cooped up in here that you wanted to escape? What if you had gotten seriously hurt? Cassius never would have thrown himself into danger so recklessly.
I should have known I'd get in trouble. It feels like my ears are bleeding. Still, I don't have any excuses. I know I acted dangerously in a body that's not even mine. And yet, it looked like you were in danger, so I couldn't just sit there.
Did you really think I would go around defenseless? You only wound up getting yourself hurt. Anyway, strip.
What? Why?
Look at this. Your back is all covered in bruises.
Hey, that hurts.
Your wounds are not deep. They will heal quickly and then hurt no longer.
His touch is so cautious and kind. Of course, it's probably because of his feelings for Cassius, not for me.
Well, anyway, thank you.
What did this stoic man just say? What's the point of denying it any longer? I like him. I can still feel the way he trembled in my arms, and the deep satisfaction I felt as I held him. If I leave this stubborn man alone, he'll push himself to his limits. I want to protect him my whole life long.
Albreto's way of showing concern is terrifying. Instead of saying, "I was worried about you," he gives Ino a full lecture until the poor guy's ears are probably ringing. And then 5 seconds later, he's gently treating his injuries. This man has the strangest combination of anger and kindness. And that's the end of episode 1 of Fake Snow. Poor Ino, he really needs someone to sit him down and say, "Please stop. Do not do this. Do not fall for the emotionally damaged knight who is already in love with someone else." But of course, Ino is already too deep. One kind moment, one worried look, and suddenly his heart is saying, "Congratulations, we have chosen a disaster." Albreto better be careful too, because this stranger who appeared out of nowhere might become the one person who understands him the most. Will Ino be able to control his feelings? Or is this going to become the biggest love triangle disaster in the kingdom? Find out in the next episode of Fake Snow.